The Warzone meta changes almost as much as I change my underwear, which is at least once a week. So with that being said, we're not going to be talking about the current best weapons in Warzone. I'm sure you guys already have a class for every single one of those so far. Instead, we're going to be talking about the guns that have not shifted and they've remained the same. They've been overpowered, they've been amazing, and they've always competed against every single meta out there. We're going to be talking about those guns today, and I'm going to be giving you guys a best class setup / loadout for those weapons. So you guys know we've been through the Grau 5.56 meta. We've been through the Dragon Breath R90. We've been through the FAL almost a year ago. If you guys remember that, you're a trooper. We've been through the DMR recently, the Diamatti pistols. We've literally been through it all. The Mac 10, everything. All these metas have been nerfed. So we're not going to be talking about those guns because they're not as good as they used to be. Instead, like I said, we're talking about the guns like the AK-74U, which I have an insane class for you guys. You guys might not even believe how good it is, but it is crazy. You got to use that class for sure. So instead of starting the list right away, if you guys could drop a like and subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on, that would be amazing. And let's get straight to the number 4 spot on this list. Now that is the AK-74U. As mentioned about a minute ago, we're going to be talking about it. Now the AK-74U is pretty nasty. For a submachine gun, it's actually really damn good. And I have to compare it versus guns like the MP5 from either Modern Warfare or Cold War. It could definitely go up against these guns. In fact, at some points, it's even better than these guns. When you get to the mid-ranges and stuff, it does slightly better than those weapons. So we're going to talk about it. The recoil pattern on this gun is really nice. So let's get into the class setup for this one. So the AK-74U is the first weapon we have on this list. Now, unfortunately, with the Cold War weapons in Warzone, some of the attachments just don't do what they say. So I had to go and play a lot around with a lot of different attachments on this gun until I found a class that actually suit my needs. And the first one I went with was the muzzle, the GRU suppressor. Now, I was actually going to play with just the sound suppression, just so I could be suppressed and reduced off the map, but then I realized that the GRU actually does give you some damage range. It does do what it says, so I ended up putting this one on, and it worked out in my favor. After that, I went over to the barrel, and I put on the 10.3-inch Task Force. And I'm not sure if this actually gives you more damage, if it actually gives you effective damage range and all that stuff, but I did notice that it doesn't really take away vertical recoil or horizontal recoil control. I realized that those don't actually act as cons, so I went ahead and threw it on, and it worked out in my favor. Then I went to the optic, and I actually went down to the Diamondback Reflex, which was pretty nice. And there is another one like the Snap Point that you guys could use as well. They actually do work in a really cool way. They give you a lot less recoil. It feels like you're a lot more accurate once you use these right here compared to the other ones like the Microflex LED, which is this one right here. They just feel a lot better to use. I don't know what it is. It gives you a 1.37 time magnification, so you could go for those mid-range shots, and it does work out nicely. It doesn't zoom in too much, and it's not like a regular scope where you don't really zoom in whatsoever. So I found that pretty nice. Then initially, I was going to go with the rear grip, and I was going to go to this one right here, the Serpent Wrap, which gives you ADS speed, and then I was going to go with the GRU Elastic Wrap. I checked them both, I tried them both out, and there doesn't seem to be any ADS advancements to these right here, and it says that it gives you that, which I didn't notice whatsoever. And it also doesn't seem to give you much flinch resistance. When you're getting shot, your flinch is still there. There's not much of a difference whatsoever, but you could aim while going prone. So I said I'm not going to use any of these. They don't do what they say. They're just useless, and it's just going to change the look of my gun rather than give me something that I need. So I went to the underbarrel, and I went to the Spetsnaz grip, which actually does give you vertical and horizontal recoil. So these are nice right there. You could definitely run those. And then for the ammunition, the only reason I went with the Spetsnaz 50 round mag is because I want 50 rounds. That's it. That's the only reason I went with it, and that is the AK-74U right there. You guys can see it. Take a screenshot of this, copy this class exactly. It actually smacks people, so go off with this 100%, man. Next up on the list, we got a gun that you guys might not believe is actually really good, and a lot of you might have actually tried it but didn't have a right class for it in the past, so you didn't end up using it, and that is the AMAX. Now, the AMAX is one of those guns where you either love it or you hate it, but I'm going to try and share a good class with you guys, and hopefully after seeing this, you guys are going to love it. Now, the CR56 AMAX has one of the highest damages for assault rifles when it comes to headshots and even chest shots. At headshots, you could deal 56 damage per shot, and at chest shots, you'll be dealing 42. Now, just to give you guys a quick little example, the M13 does 36 to the head and only 24 to the chest. So this one is a huge upgrade compared to that weapon, but you want to think of other weapons as well. Some of them that might be a little more overpowered to that. And let's look at something like the Grau 5.56. The CR56 AMAX does 56 to the head, while the Grau only does 42, and the CR56 does 42 damage to the chest, while the Grau only does 28. So you guys can see a huge difference there, and it's pretty close in terms of rate of fire. It could shoot up to 620 bullets per minute, which is insane, and you could obviously throw on a high magazine on this one. Now the ADS time is a little slower than the Grau, but again, you're not going to be worrying about that when using assault rifles. You're actually going to be using it for distance, so the ADS isn't as important. Now this class, I'm going to share with you guys, you're going to want to use it for mid to long range, and it's really damn good. The next weapon on this list is a Modern Warfare gun, so the attachments do what they say. This is great, and it's the CR56 AMAX. A lot of you guys might think this gun isn't that good, it's not that nice, don't use it, which I could kind of agree to an extent, but if you have the right class for this and you put the right attachments on this, you're going to be going off on people nicely. So the first thing I did, obviously because it's a Modern Warfare gun, you want to go with the monolithic suppressor. It's a must. And then the barrel, you obviously want to go with the one that gives you the most damage, and this here, the XRK Zodiac, is the only one that gives you damage. So you definitely want to go with this as well, but a bonus, it gives you recoil control. After that, I went with the underbarrel. You could either go with the Merc or the Ranger. I like the Merc a little better. I don't know why. I just feel like that hipfire accuracy really comes in hand, so I definitely use this one for sure. The rear grip is obviously going to be the XRK CR56 rubberized wrap, the rubberized grip tape pretty much. It gives you recoil control. And then the ammunition, you're going to want to run the 45 round mags. Now if you feel like you kind of need a sight on this weapon, which I do understand, a lot of people do need a sight on this one right here, you could obviously take off the rear grip, go to the optic, and throw on any one you want. The GI Mini Reflex, the 3x scope, the 4x flip hybrid, which I don't suggest this one here, but the VLK 3x scope is really nice on this gun as well. You will feel very accurate using this, but the CR56 AMAX for me is not a gun that I need to run a sight on too often, and if I do, I like the GI Mini Reflex. I don't know, I'm weird like that, I like that, but I don't really need to run a sight on it too often, so I go ahead and run what I want. But there's the class right there for the most part. Like I said, you could change the rear grip out for an optic if you want, but this class does definitely shred on people, and it's really nice to go off on. Now the next weapon on this list is the Ram 7, and this has been the gun that I've been using ever since Warzone came out. Ever since the Ram 7 came out, I've loved this actual gun. Now a lot of you guys, again, you might think the Ram 7 isn't that good, but it is very accurate. If you put on the right attachments to this, you're going to be lasering people across the map. Now in terms of actual damage, this actually ties with the Grau. It does 42 to the head, 28 everywhere else on the body. Same thing as the Grau. So the Ram 7 is pretty good there, but what it beats the Grau in is the rounds per minute. The Grau only shoots 730 bullets per minute, whereas the Ram 7 shoots 860 rounds a minute, almost 1,000 rounds a minute, which is absolutely insane. It does have a little longer reload than the Grau, but the ADS time is exactly the same as that weapon as well. So the only thing you're lacking in is the reload speed, but everything else, especially the rate of fire, is much better on the Ram 7. So if you guys make this class, you make it accurate, you're going to see there's going to be some attachments that you need to throw onto this. You're going to be smacking people 100% of the time. Like, do not doubt the Ram 7. The next weapon is my favorite weapon in the game, and you guys can see the class already right here, and this is because I just want to get over this one. I want to just show you my favorite class. The muzzle is going to be the monolithic suppressor. You want that damage, you want that sound suppression. It's amazing. The barrel is the FSS Ranger because you get damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. Now again, you could throw on an optic instead of the rear grip, but for the Ram 7, what I really suggest is keeping the rear grip on, because this is going to help you feel like you're lasering people. It's the rubberized grip tape, which gives you recoil control. It's going to help you feel like you're not having any recoil whatsoever. So that's really nice. The ammunition is the 50 round mags. Unfortunately, there's no 60 for this gun, which kind of sucks. I don't see why they did that, but 50, that's the only option you have. That's the only one you could put on anyways. And the underbarrel is the Ranger foregrip for recoil control and aiming stability. It's nice. You lose some ADS with this gun. You don't really need a sight on the Ram 7. Like, I could get people long range with just this class here, but if you're one of those people who needs the VLK 3x, obviously take off the rear grip and throw it on instead. Now you might notice that I'm not running the Merc foregrip for this one, and that's because this gun already has a nice hip fire accuracy. I don't really need to run it. So the Ranger foregrip obviously gives you more recoil control. That's why I'm running it for this one. The next weapon on this list is one that I'm sure a lot of you guys love, and you've probably been using it for a very long time. You've been using it since the game came out. It has the exact same stats in terms of damage as the Ram 7 and the Grau. Again, it does 42 damage to the head and 28 everywhere else, and that is the Kilo 141. The Kilo 141, again, shoots a little bit faster than the Grau. It shoots at 750 rounds per minute. It actually reloads a little bit faster, 10 milliseconds faster than the Grau as well, and it only ADS is 0.07 milliseconds slower than that weapon, so it's pretty much unnoticeable. Now the Kilo is a great gun. I argue that it actually is a little bit more accurate than the Grau, so if you guys love the Kilo, you're gonna like this class. But I do have to say, I did actually lose the gameplay. I was cleaning out my computer, I was trying to save everything, and unfortunately I deleted the Kilo 141. When I meant to actually save it, I never moved its folder, and I ended up deleting it with everything else that I deleted, and I kind of regret that. So take some more Ram 7 gameplay, but you guys know what the Kilo is, you guys have seen it. Here's the class setup for the Kilo 141. For the Kilo 141, I'm pretty sure you guys already have a class similar to this, or this exact class already, but this is a Kilo 141 class that I love. The muzzle, monolithic suppressor, why the hell not? The barrel, Synguard Arms 19.8-inch Prowler, obviously the best barrel for the Kilo. The optic is the VLK 3x optic, and this is nice because it gives that Kilo that literal aimbot feel. It makes you feel like you're cheating. You're gonna hear a lot of people, when you kill them, they're gonna be like, oh dude, this guy's cheating, this guy's a hacker. They're gonna scream in their mic, you're gonna laugh with your friends, have a good time. It makes it feel really, really accurate. The underbarrel is the Merc 4 grip and the rubberized grip tape for the rear grip, and you're gonna see that I didn't put an ammunition on, and that's because sometimes I get rid of the underbarrel, sometimes I get rid of the rear grip, but I never keep them both on at the same time. I just told you guys to keep them both on, but what I normally do is take off the rear grip and I put on the 60-round mags. Obviously, I wouldn't suggest the 100-round drums. No point in running that, but the 60-round mags is nice for this weapon right here. So that's it. That's the Kilo 141. I'm sure you guys already have a class on this. Now let's talk about the MAC-10, because even though this gun has been nerfed, I'm going to put this one as a bonus because it's not actually going to be on the list. Even though this gun has been nerfed, it is still really powerful. It's probably one of the best SMGs. It's an SMG where you could easily turn on people and still kill them before they could kill you. Even if they start shooting you first, the MAC-10 does pick up. Now, I don't, again, have gameplay for this one. I deleted it with the Kilo 141. I deleted all of it. I feel very stupid for that. I get it. But I do have Cold War gameplay that you guys can see it here in the background as well. Now the class for this for Warzone is different than Cold War obviously, but just trust me on this one. Use this class I'm about to give you guys and you're going to be smacking people around like it's nothing. So this is the MAC-10, the final weapon on this list. You guys love it. I'm sure you guys already have a class for this. That's why I'm giving this one as a bonus. Next up on the list is obviously the MAC-10, and you guys are going to see there's going to be a few things that you could definitely switch out here, but this is for the most part the base class that I build most of my classes on for the MAC-10. The muzzle is the agency suppressor. I wouldn't recommend changing this. It gives you sound suppression, and even if it doesn't give you damage range, it still might. I haven't actually tested it much, so it might actually still give you damage range, but it's really good to have on anyways. The barrel is the 5.9-inch Task Force. Again, you get damage, effective damage range, and bullet velocity. You lose max starting ammo, but that's okay because we're putting the ammunition here. It's Warzone. You don't need starting ammo. You're going to pick up ammo off the ground anyways, so that doesn't matter. The stock is the Raider stock. Now, the reason I'm running this is because I like to have a fast sprint to fire time. If I catch on to someone and he sees me and we see each other at the same time, we're both sprinting, I want to be able to shoot first. I don't want to lose those gunfights, so that's why I throw this one on right here. But again, this is one that we could change. You'll see in a moment. And the rear grip is the airborne elastic wrap for that ADS, flinch resistance, and all that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, you might want to get rid of that stock. And if you get rid of the stock, the only thing I suggest is an underbarrel, and that's something that's going to give you some sort of recoil control, like the field agent grip right here. In case you're going for those longer range shots with this gun, you're going to want to be able to use this in your advantage, to your favor, I should say, and this is going to help you out a lot. So that's the MAC-10. This is it for the most part. You could change a few attachments on this one to whatever fits your needs, but this is one that ends up working out for me, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one as much as I do. So there you guys have it, the top 4 best loadouts that I use consistently in Warzone, and yes, I have dropped high kill gameplays with this. I have dropped a lot of kill gameplays with this and even got W's with these weapons, so trust me, you could definitely use them. Make them work in your favor. It's not going to work right away, like anything, like any gun. They don't work right away. You got to use them more often in order to do better with them. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on this one. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are around here with those notifications turned on. Thank you for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.